watch so much classic Who that you want to reference. I think you forgot to watch the 2 seasons before yourself, Moffat.
Yeah. Tell him, Steve Dave.
And I've never heard anybody else bring that point up, strangely.
Well, I think most people just assumed that whole mess with Rassilon and the Master was like the 2 seconds before Gallifrey got destroyed, they pulled it into Earth, and then it was going to be thrown back, and if it got thrown back, it would get blown up. I guess most people just assumed that Gallifrey went back to get blown up.
I don't know. I mean, I didn't realize it as I was watching it. And I mean, that was a real goosebump moment when all the Doctors show up.
Mm-hmm.
Although, I think it was a mistake having Capaldi show up.
Yeah,
because then the next episode is all about, I don't have any more regenerations. This is it. I'm going to die. Well, even ignoring, we know he's regenerating based on the media attention. Just from a story point, we know he's going to regenerate because the next Doctor already showed up in the special.
I think the question at that point wasn't so much, is he going to make it, as what the fuck is he going to pull out of his hat to make it work? It's kind of like you go to a magic show and you expect to see a trick. But the question isn't, am I going to see a trick? It's, how did he do the trick?
I think it would be, it'll never happen, but it would be really interesting if one time they don't tell us it's coming. They cast the next Doctor, keep it secret.
Although these days you can't do that.
Yeah, and then suddenly he regenerates.
I could probably find an app somewhere that'll tell me every time, Capaldi takes a shit now. I think it's TMZ.
And then that's that one special, The Next Doctor, where that guy who thinks he's the Doctor.
Yeah, a Doctor Sucker Punch.
Like, that would be interesting if, like, for us to, at some point, like, every time there's a multi-Doctor story, it's always from the perspective of the current Doctor meeting past Doctors. If, like, at one point they know they're going to have a new Doctor, like, in a year or 2 years, and they cast him early and have him show up in a multi-Doctor story and have a multi-Doctor story for one time be from the perspective of the Doctor meeting one of his future and maybe past selves.
Yeah, or like, the future Doctor's like, oh, it's you again. And he's like, what? And I go, I'm the Doctor. You're the Doctor. I'm the Doctor. Oh, ha, ha, sonic screwdrivers. Mine's bigger. Oops, I'm wearing sand shoes.
But it was nice that they sometimes it's always, like, when the second Doctor and the sixth Doctor met, it was really like, when the hell did this supposedly happen? Because there were so many problems with that. Because they never mentioned the Time Lords throughout the entire second Doctor until the very last one. But yet he's on a mission for the Time Lords with his companion. When did this supposedly happen?
We missed it.
But, like, with Tennant, there was, like, a very obvious place where that was taking place.
Yeah, it's like, okay,
why no one was with him. Because there was a huge gap between Waters of Mars and his last one.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was nice.
I hate the regeneration sucker punch. Because there was that one, and then there was the Stolen Planet or whatever, where he gets shot by the Dalek, and he's like, I'm regenerating into myself! Ah! And it's like, really? Really? Fuck you.
Well, that was a strange circumstance, because that did count as a regeneration. And it only worked because he had another body part of himself to channel the energy into.
So why didn't the hand come out as someone else? I gotta talk about the hand, though. Because, I mean, like, okay, the big fangirl thing is like, oh, Rose and the Doctor, they finally got together because she has a human Doctor that can grow old with her and they can have a real life. But you know what the worst part about that Doctor is? He's part Donna Noble. So he's not actually the Doctor she's Doctor plus Donna.
Well, he's also not the same person.
Which is a big step down.
The whole thing he says is that, he's like me when you first met me, he needs guidance. So obviously he's not like...
And occasionally he'll go, oi!
I'm glad...
It's really irritating.
Because I was worried when they first announced who was in the special that she was in it, and I was like, oh, so that means it's being set sometime during the first 2 seasons. But luckily they found a way to have her in it and not actually have Rose in it.
Yeah.
'Cause
As much as I like Billie Piper, she's cute as a button, but
Rose was, as a character, was horrible.
she was a bit taxing. She's the entire axis of the fangirl legion that is now like, we don't want Capaldi, he's too old, we can't masturbate to him with our sonic screwdrivers that vibrate. I really want to get one of those.
Yeah,
Sidetrack.
I think he's a year older than what the first Doctor was.
Yeah. I like
Doesn't
him.
look as old as Hartnell, but
Yeah. He looks so angry all the time.
Yeah, that was one of my favorite bits from his first episode.
The eyebrow bit.
Independently cross eyebrows.
Like they're gonna secede from my face.
I don't know. I prefer the older Doctors, like older in age. Like anytime it's a younger Doctor, like in the classics, the young Doctor was 5, and he was frankly boring.
3D effect just then.
Well, we're not shooting this in 3D.
But I'm seeing it in 3D. Isn't anyone gonna ask about the glasses? We're in this the whole time. No one's even asked about the glasses.
Yeah, because the 10th Doctor wore them for like one.
It was a throwaway
episode.
joke, and I just literally threw it away.
Like the 5th Doctor was young, but he was boring.
You know what I think I like about him and Eccleston both is that they're both angry doctors. I like my doctors
I think
angry.
the 5th Doctor was particularly angry.
No, not him.
Oh, you mean the new one?
I'm talking about like the actual new doctors, not the old moldy stuff. Literally moldy. They're in a box somewhere. Someone's trying to break into the TARDIS.
But I don't know. As far as like when Doctors regenerate, I think Smith was the easiest to like afterwards. Like I
Yeah.
liked him right away.
It's a bit of a goofball, and everyone's like, haha, he's being funny, we'll forgive him.
But like
Although, did you see the pictures that got leaked of him?
from what?
From that big picture leak with all the celebrities and their not clothedness? Not that I would ever look at such things, because that's immoral. But
I really didn't pay attention to who was involved in that.
the doctor's not compensating.
I really don't care.
Scary.
I mean, I saw pictures of him from the new Terminator movie, and he looked stupid.
You know, actually, I don't know what he's going to do in it, and I'm just going to be
I don't mean the movie looked stupid. I just thought he looked stupid.
I'm going to be making Doctor Who jokes the whole time I watch it. Like, shouldn't he have gotten time travel right by now? Isn't he
I
the
don't
expert?
even know who he's playing. He wasn't in the trailer.
He was for like 2 seconds. I saw him holding a gun. Which, I know you wouldn't recognize him holding a gun. Because the Doctor doesn't use guns except when he does.
I don't know. You want to see, like, the 7th Doctor got violent sometimes.
See, I like angry doctors. Because, that one point
Watch The Happiness Patrol.
Hmm.
It's a really good episode, really underrated. Very subversive story, but he gets really, like, nasty at one point.
Nice. Because, I like that about Eccleston in Dalek. When he was like, wait, I do know what to do with you. And he just flipped the switch and he's like, I'm gonna fucking kill you. He's fucking angry and pissed off and yelling at people. I mean, that's a good Doctor. I mean, Tennant got angry once or twice and it was like, whatever. The Matt Smith, I couldn't buy him as angry if he were punching me in the face. Because he just looked so happy and boyish. It's like a kid throwing a tantrum. But, if Capaldi really got, like, severely pissed off, I'm pretty sure his eyebrows would fly off and start biting people.
Even when he's happy, he comes off as pissed off.
Yeah, but if he ever really just started screaming in somebody's face, his eyebrows would probably just jump off of his head and start clubbing them in the face. Like monster tentacles. I like tentacles. More things should have tentacles in them.
No, they shouldn't.
Totally should. Think how much better life would be with tentacles.
Really, they have suckers on them. They get stuck to everything. And you taste out of them, so everything an octopus tastes out of their tentacles. I think so. You'd be tasting like everything you're touching.
Well, I don't want tentacles. I just think there should be more tentacles in life. I'm just expressing an idea. Don't judge me. So have we beaten this topic to death yet? I have no idea. I'm completely lost. Usually, B tells me to shut up by now. But I haven't made half as many dirty jokes in this episode. Something about respectability.
Well,
and being able to share this with people.
You could call him and he could tell you to shut up.
Yeah, but then I have to stop the audio recording to do the... Not worth it. So I guess that's everything we have. I mean, that's everything on your notes plus a dozen things. Unless you want to talk about Torchwood for a minute. I mean, I like Torchwood.
I didn't like the last season.
That was... You know what the problem was? It was made in America. Stars.
It was made in America. It was... One of the big problems with it was still Russell T Davies' show, but it was made after Russell T Davies left Doctor Who.
And then,
so there was no... So without him controlling both shows, like, when did this happen? Because, like... It was during a time where, like, the Ponds would have been on Earth. You'd think they'd have mentioned it.
Yeah.
This was such a huge thing, going on for quite a while. You'd think the Doctor would have gotten involved in that.
Or at least wandered by.
Also, the whole concept of why would his blood do anything.
Capaldi was there. Well, which is another stupid fan theory.
Well, it's not a stupid fan theory. They have an explanation for why the same guy keeps showing up. And some people got pissed off about that, and like, it's not the first time.
There's a reason for that.
Yeah, well, Russell T Davies had an explanation for why the same person was in Pompeii and the guy from Torchwood. And
well, it'd be nice if you worked that into a show.
Well, they are working it in. They hinted at it in Deep Breath with this whole, like, he kind of recognized the face, where his faces come from. But it's not. People got pissed off about that, and it wasn't the first time somebody appeared in the show before they were the Doctor.
But people don't know that because they only started watching when the cute doctors show up, which is why they tell everyone to skip 9. Like, oh yeah, watch the show, but skip that first season. It's just got that ugly guy in it. You should watch it with these 2 guys who are all cute and stuff.
I don't know any people like that.
I wasn't sure what the hell Mekhi Phifer was doing in Torchwood. That was just confusing. I mean, he was so out of place. I mean...
Well, I don't think he was out of place. I just didn't think he did a great job.
He was trying really hard.
It didn't make any sense. Why did Jack's blood wouldn't do that? There's nothing special about his blood. They explained it in Doctor Who. The reason he's immortal is because he's a living fixed point in time. Wouldn't have any, like, how can that be transferred to other people?
He's a free roaming paradox. If you transfer that around too many times...
And now, Mekhi Phifer is too. Okay.
Because he had Jack's blood in him when the big switcheroo went down, and oh my god, now he's an immortal. And then it's like, cliffhanger! Fuck it, we cancel it.
Yeah, that'll never happen. But
even if it did, now everyone looks 5 years older, so they'd have to be like, oh yeah, for the last 5 years, I've actually been aging. But not really.
I think, and like, it was 10 episodes long. It was too long.
Shows with immortal cast members never work.
Not in the long run.
No. I mean even Tennant was looking a bit ragged in the 50th.
They have an explanation for that in show, because, like, every time they did that, like, the doctors would look way too old. It's something about...
Wibbly wobbly, tiny.
Yeah, things go wrong.
Why are you so ashamed of being a grown-up?
It makes them look older when they meet each other or something. But, like...
The essence of convenient story writing.
I mean, like, go like, watch Angel again. Like,
yeah.
Especially that last season.
Keep in mind, episode of
he's
Buffy.
Supposed to be an 18-year-old.
Yeah. Watch the first episode of Buffy, and then watch the last episode of Angel, and just go, ooh.
Yeah. But even, like, keep in mind, like, he got made a vampire when he's 18.
Yeah.
He doesn't look like an 18-year-old by the end, but, you know...
He didn't even look 18 in the flashbacks.
But, you know...
Which was weird.
You know what's really going on.
Yeah, suspension of disbelief. You gotta let it go. I mean, that's the whole thing. Take it way too seriously.
But I think, like, 10 episodes was too long. It should have been maybe 5. Because it wasn't a season. It was a mini-series all telling one story. Like, so was Children of Earth, but Children of Earth was only 5 episodes.
Yeah, and that was pretty easy to get through because the pace was snappy. That last one was just like, is it over yet? God, how many more episodes?
And it just drug on and on and on.
Yeah.
the doctor going to show up? It's like, if this was a Doctor Who episode, you'd be done.
You like show up, okay, okay, they've
And
done
like
this.
now,
Fix
and then
it.
that whole thing with like there's this hole all the way through the world, like that's a really huge thing that like they're never gonna mention in Doctor Who. Like,
Yeah, unless he does, which would just be like if there's a hole in the world, like, oh yeah, 'cause, that would have been the perfect time to do it when they were talking about the North Pole going through the whole planet, and the Doctor's like, oh yeah, and there's a big crack in the middle too, and everyone would be like, ha ha ha, he's making it up, and he'd be like, no, not really. That whole story was just kind of dumb. I mean, they could have done so much better.
well, I think anytime you have a spin-off and the same person does control both shows, you're gonna have problems.
Yeah. You're going to have a bad time. Especially when you pizza and you're supposed to french fry.
Yeah, I mean, like the Sarah Jane adventures probably, had she not sadly died, probably would have gotten really bad.
Yeah.
Eventually.
Well,
But unlike Torchwood, they actually let the Doctor appear in that show.
you know what they say. You either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself in a failed TV show.
Is he in a TV show?
No, I was talking about Sarah Jane.
Oh, that shouldn't fail.
No, it's good show. She died. Can't do any more, so what could they possibly do? She can't regenerate. Don't. Moffat, don't. She can't regenerate.
I don't think they even addressed that she's dead in the show. I don't remember.
No, not really. I mean, well, that was like that thing. That's the other problem I had with the companions. I mean, like, every show, every Doctor has their companion. It's like, if you cross over, it's some kind of problem. Because, I mean, if he knew certain companions at certain points, that's fine. But, like, at the end of Tennant's run, he did his little, here's all of my companions, bye, guys.
Yeah, that's one of the problems with the new show, that the reason they don't show up again is just because
Contracts and stupid
and
shit.
stuff. Because, like, in the old time, when a companion left, they left for a reason. And
Yeah.
there's a reason you didn't see him anymore.
They were dead or in another dimension.
Like Tegan, which strangely they offhandedly mentioned recently. Well, not by name. We're just I spent a couple years trying to get an angry Australian to Heathrow. Like, she left because she was like, Doctor, I can't handle this shit anymore. I'm out of here. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah, but that was also, before the time of the fawning fangirl companion who would rather just stick it out with the Doctor because they just think he's so cute and want to hang out with him some more.
Well, some of them. I don't know. I mean, I prefer the companions were better, and also all the companions now, they're all modern.
Yeah.
They're all from now. Like the old companions, like some of them were from the time the show came, but some of them weren't even human. Like some of them were from other planets. One was a robot, although he was only in like 2 episodes.
I actually think Kylie Minogue would have made a good companion if they hadn't aced her in that one Christmas special.
Yeah, well.
Actually, who would have made a great companion? Banacafalata. Fucking, you're the little red dude with the spikes, the little cyborg.
Yeah.
You're toting him around for a season, referring to himself in the third person. That would have been awesome. Tiring, but awesome.
And first of all, like everyone, like, why do we need only one at a time? Like, let's bring another companion in before she leaves, and let's have it not be either not be human or not be from now.
Mm-hmm. To know what happened with Cleopatra, because she ran off with that hunter guy at some point after the dinosaurs in the spaceship. I guess he took her back to her own time eventually, maybe not, and fake her own death and run away with the crazy hunter guy. But still, she would have made an interesting companion, being a regal bitch while he's trying to fix things. I don't know, I think I'm running out of ideas. Well, I guess we'll wrap that up then for the episode. Talk about Doctor Who for almost 50 minutes. I think we've, put a good dent in this.
The length of an episode.
Yeah, about the length of it. We could do a 2-parter, but, nobody likes 2-parters.
Second part never lives up.
It's true. It would just be us sitting here like, we exhausted all the good ideas in the first half, folks.
Well, I mean, typically a two-parter, all the ideas are in the first part, and then the second part is just action and resolution.
So we'd have to film us running around for 50 minutes, waving sonic screwdrivers ineffectually, and probably punching a Dalek.
Why would you punch a Dalek?
'Cause I'm a man! I'm hardcore!
The only person I can think of who ever beat up a Dalek with violence was not a man.
That's true. She was hot.
If you say so. I don't know which one you're talking about.
I was talking about Ace.
Okay.
Ace was hot. She was crazy hot. She wasn't like really over the top pretty hot, but she was the kind of chick who'd be like, I'm gonna beat the shit out of this Dalek, then I'm gonna throw you on that bed, and you're gonna satisfy me. And I'm like, okay.
They need to bring some of the old companions back. I'd like to know why she left. We don't.
Yeah,
know.
they did kind of just wander off into the sunset, didn't they? And then all of a sudden, made-for-TV movie!
Yeah, with no companion along for the ride.
Probably should have just been disregarded and thrown out, but, you know, people apparently liked that guy, so good that they kept
good.
him.
The movie was new. Especially the whole suddenly, I'm half human on my mother's side.
Yeah, well, you know, Dr. Lies. Don't listen to that stupid shit. Poor writing. It's American TV. What do you expect?
Well, yeah, because they were trying to American it up a bit. Which is weird that it's so weird that they tried to make an American version of the show, yet still be connected to the other show.
But no one even knew they were connected until Sarah Jane showed up in the first place.
I mean, when they made the movie,
Yeah.
they made it for an American audience, but they're like, but let's not reboot it. Let's have it be just the next Doctor.
Yeah, because no one will notice. The people in America will be like, oh, cool, Doctor Who. Alright, well, I think that's all we got for this one. And be back in Reno for the next episode.
When I'll be thin and fit again.
Yeah, exactly. We'll bash you in the head with a hammer and regenerate you back to be. It'll be painless-ish. Alright, we'll see you later.